up 13%, and then HEX. HEX up at 3.9 cents. Oh my goodness, up 13%. Let's look at one of the biggest peers here for HEX. We're going to stop off on the way. Before we do that, though, we've got Halgo at number 12, and that is at 1 million. But HEX is dominating the top 10 there. Look at that. But Halgo there, HEX derivative, up 12.3%, 1 million in liquidity now. Pretty cool. Let's just drop off at Halgo before we get into HEX and look at this chart. So really exciting stuff here. One of the best performers on Pulse Chain so far. 37 days, up 770%. That's at 8.7x in 37 days. So, pretty cool. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze for a second or something. I don't know what is. It's not like there's pollen or anything. Maybe a bit of dust. Who knows? Right. So we've got HEX. Let's go to the biggest pair. 942k in liquidity. Obviously, there's multiple pools for HEX, and let's check it out. Big volume comes in to pump HEX, right? That's what's really big mover there. Big community, up 12% right now, looking really good. Let's look at this chart. So this is the HEX chart here on the weekly. Let's go to the daily though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's get rid of the Fibonacci there. But look at that chart. Woo-hoo-hoo! Beautiful. Let's have a look at the bottom here. Bottom here on the 8th of June on the daily. We were at 6,600. Just rounding it there, 6,600. And we peaked out at the top there just 2 days ago. We're up 580%, not too far behind the old Halgo, but 580%, a 6.8x in 71 days. A 6.8x, look at that, it's 580%. Are we going to do 10,000%? Are we going to do 10,000? We're looking pretty good. So nice stuff there. We got to a peak out on that chart at 4500th of a penny on that gold mode wick the other day with the HEX part there. Are we going to get more of those? We got the price at the moment at just under 3900th of a penny. Looking really good, isn't it? And really cool. We're going to watch this. Now, obviously on the 21 daily moving average, we're at 2700th of a penny, and we're at 1850th of a penny there on the, did I just make that up? 1800th of a penny. 1800, was it 185,000th of a penny? Something like that. Of a penny there at on the 50 day. I better not get distracted today. All right, so let's put the fib on. The fib there. Is this the one I put on yesterday? Yeah. So the fib there, we had the fib going up to half a penny, just over half a penny, and I was being a bit more modest, saying maybe 47. We've got to 45 already. So far so good. Everything heading in the right direction there. Let's bring on the RSI though to see how we are. Well, we're elevated and we are slightly overbought, but we've got room to move. Stochastic's still moving up, so still room to move. Let's double check that with the 4 hour and the 4 hour there. We are elevated on the 4 hour there. So we're pretty much, we've had a good run, right? We just need a bit of maybe consolidation. Either that or we need a big whale to pump even more money into it and, absorb some of those potential sellers on the way there. But certainly getting into a place where we kind of need to consolidate a little bit there. But who knows, with the markets moving like that overnight, who knows what's going to happen, right? It is that sort of question time at the moment that even charts are telling us this normally would be overbought, but we've got big uptrend. We've got off a low base. We've got tailwinds with the majors on the move dramatically overnight. The whole market up 4.7.5%. So, maybe we can just consolidate here. And this assumes no whale comes in and splashes down, right? So far so good, but we kind of do need a bit of a calling here. Now, obviously, we're still looking good because if we go to the weekly chart here, we are not overbought yet. We're elevated at 69. There we are high on the stochastic. We can stay up on the stochastic, so we've still got room to move on the weekly, and that's why I say a pretty crucial time to get a bit of consolidation. And of course, if we get more bullish news overnight with the CFTC, etc., we may still hold up here and move high here, but certainly getting into a question time zone, and it's not even, normally you would probably take profits around this zone, right, or very close to it, but the weekly still giving us a bit of room to move for a bit higher here, and maybe we might make it to that 47 to half a penny mark here on the pulse price. So that's kind of there. I still think we've got a little bit more momentum, a little bit more room to do there, but certainly, next 24 hours, very important in that crossroads. We'll see what happens. There. We're above the 50 weekly moving average of 3,025. We're above the 21 moving average of 1,500. Looking pretty good here. So let's actually think about what we might actually get in the Fibonacci on the weekly. So I'm going to take away the old one there, And just remember that was target is at half a penny. I'm going lower there at 47. We got 45. We're pretty close. This is the first wave as well, following the pulse chain first wave. Are we going to cross over into the second wave? That's the question. So certainly interesting times. Big profits have been made. We said that 5.7, 6.8x or something. So big profits there so far, holding up. And a little bit, we've got room to move on the weekly there a little bit more. And as long as the macros hold up, I still think we're looking pretty good. So let me just do the fib. Let me do the fib extension on here. I'm going to take it from the bottom and take it to the top. I feel like it's Jenny on the block. Do you guys, every time you say that, take it from the bottom, go to the top? I don't know. Anyway, so this on the weekly, this puts us way up at 69/100th of a penny, so almost 7/10 of a penny. But we're not going to go there with that. We're going to stick with that daily, the daily chart there. But this is probably something longer term at the moment, moving forward. So maybe a bit further down the track there with the weekly, which we're on at the moment, we could head towards that 7/10 of a penny. But certainly, if we do have a bit more room to move, we got the overnight, all that bullish news continues. Then we got that 47 to half a penny mark still available to be hit. But certainly, we're getting hot at that point, right? And that will all depend on how long that takes, right? In other words, versus the RSI cooling off a little bit. Remember, RSI is a bit lagged, so we're still, essentially ahead of that a little bit in the price. So question time. So it's been pretty easy. Yesterday, of course, was still probable to the upside. Then we got major mega news, right? So you just can't always see those things. We knew it was going to be a good week, but it was a pretty outstanding week, wasn't it, so far? And let's see if the CFTC holds us up. So that's kind of the mark right now. I still think there's a little bit more room to move. Going to kind of hold, consolidate here. And of course, we did have on horizontal 4,400 of the penny. We've hit 45. And that's kind of key too with our resistance here, 4,500. So that's been pretty consistent. That would be the end of the first wave for me. From here, we've just had so much good news right now. Can we do that 47 to half a penny and then cool off? So we're going to cool up before we do that, or hit it and then cool off. What are those two? But certainly looking pretty good there, and a nice run here. Now, look. God mode candles can always come out of nowhere and hyper pump this. I don't know. I prefer the God mode to watch the RSI a bit more rather than overheat the market. Certainly, it would elevate the market and absorb sellers and move us up higher, probably net anyway. But I do wish that whoever's market making would use the RSI a bit more. But so far, so good. Should net bias us to the upside in any case. We're coming off a low base, remember, low base too. But that weekly's still elevated, but a little bit of room to move there. Very, very questionable time. I don't really know. I think the probability is still to the upside, but it's not as confident and probably as we have been up to this point, because I think it was kind of pretty obvious, pretty good momentum, low base, all that stuff. We had everything in tailwinds there. We may still do well overnight, but let's keep watching it. We'll see how we land tomorrow. It's going to be interesting.